Okay, here we are back at Prairie Paradise Retreat. I'm organized. I've got plenty of flour. I have my rolling pin. I've got a couple of glass and a bowl that I'm going to use for cutting my tart sizes. And that's always a biggie. You can use tin cans if you have them, or I just kind of go over top of my tin and say that should be about right by the time I get it stuffed in there. This one will work better there. So what we're going to do, and here's where I'm saying we start to get messy, and this is where I was going all wrong years ago until I went and made tarts in front of my mom, and she said, "Oh, you're not putting enough flour on the table and on your pastry." So here we are. This is the trick of the game. You're going to put your flour on the table, which of course, like I say, is clean and sterilized. Okay, I'm going to take a chunk of your pastry off, whatever the heck size you feel you can deal with. I'm going to make it a little bit flat and put some flour on top of there. Okay, I'm going to take my rolling pin and roll it a couple times, and now I'm going to flip it over, get again the flour on there, a little bit more on top. So the key is not to have your rolling pin sticking to it. Now, depending on how thick a pastry you like is how much you're going to roll this out. Doing good. There's not sticking to anything here. And I think that's going to be good. I don't know if you can see that, but it's about that thick there, 1/8 of an inch maybe. Okay, so now we're going to take our cutter, which this is, I know is not going to be a good cutter, but I was a little desperate today. Oops. I try to get as many out of this as I can so that I'm not having to pick it up and blend it and roll it, because that's where your pastry starts to get dry and flaky. So now we're just going to pick this up and put it into the pie shell, tart shell. There we go. And there. Now this one has a little bit of a crack in it. Not a big deal. Just get it into your tin and just kind of pack it around there that it seals that hole, because otherwise your butter tart filling is going to ooze through that, and it's very difficult to get your tart out of the tin. And there again, depending on the thickness of your pastry for your tart shells is how well you'll get them out of your tin. And if you overfill the tart tin shell with butter tart filling, it will also be stuck all along these edges, and then you can't get your tart shell to come away from the tin without crumbling. Of course, that's always okay for the baker, because those are the samples that we get to use. So we've got those in there. Now I'm going to take this back up and just get it back into a bit of a ball. Get my flour back here. Squish that down again. It's going to get sticky there, so I'm going to do a couple in this smaller tart shell. Let's see if I've got a decent size for this. See how this glass works much better than that other one because it's got a thick rim on it. This is a different kind of this is an actual tart tin. I'm having guests next week, and so I want to make some fresh butter tarts for them. So what I'm doing is to save on time, because I will have to do a fair bit of baking, and I'm going to be quite busy, so I thought, well, I'll make my tart shells ahead and just put them in the freezer, and then the day that I need them, I can take my tart shells out, make my butter tart filling, and put it right in there, cook her up, and they'll have them fresh off the press. There you go. Now, this may get a little hard to deal with now, so I'm probably going to put it aside. Towards the end of my pastry, I may add just a tablespoon of water just to blend in, make it a little bit softer again, and carry on making my shells. You can also make a pie shell if you'd like, and that's about it. But positively, my shortcomings in the beginning was not using enough flour on the table and on top of my pastry, and then it was sticking to the table and it was sticking to my rolling pin, and it was impossible to deal with. It wouldn't come up off the table. You couldn't work with it. So hopefully if you follow these directions, you're going to be able to get her all done right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.